Hello YouTube family, and welcome to the Daily BuzzDown challenge. This is day one of the ultimate transition from you being the who you are right now and being the person you always planned to be and always wanted to be. It's truly just finding your own self, step by step. Now come with me on this journey and allow me to be your motherfucking God, bitch. No, I'm just playing. Let's see crack. This for all my... 5 push-ups, that's all, you know. You don't want to do too much, but you also don't want to do too little. You want to stay right in the medium. Always find a proper balance, you know, because you don't want to gas yourself out and be discouraged. I want you to keep coming back. I want you guys to vibe with, you know, synergy. I need that synergy. I need y'all. I need my YouTube family. I need y'all. Y'all motivate me as much as I hope I motivate y'all. Another 5. Let's go. Is to just get you some cool push-ups, get you some nice ones. Don't get no babies, no don't get you no no little one-pump Paulies, you know. Get you some good ones, get you some nice strong ones. I'm just doing this because I just want to, you know, motivate other people who are just beginning. I don't want to leave nobody behind, leave no man behind. You know, that's always been my slogan. Leave no man behind. Enough talking. Let's go. A lot of you who don't know me or don't know my backstory, I go by the moniker of Israel. Israel is a kid, local artist out of Sacramento, California. Close friend, close comrade, brother of the late great Christopher Treadwell, better known as Chris. Tricky mother effing dance moves, the one and only. Maybe imitated but never just duplicated, you know? Maybe imitated but never duplicated, you know? Don't let Bristy. He's the reason I do this, you know? He's the reason I strive, you know? Militant mode. But yeah, local artists striving for the empowerment of my community, the betterment of my community, make my community greater. You got to start within, you know. You got to start. A prophet is sent to their own people. I'm not a prophet. I'm not claiming to be or any of that. So don't take that to heart. Take that with a grain of salt, and please take that with a lot of salt. Actually, take that with a lot of salt. Grab some salt out this river and just put it in your cup, and that's what you do with that. Because yeah. But anyways, let me get down real quick before I lose focus on what we came to do. Yeah, I did a long time in prison, you know, incarcerated. Went down at 19 years old, unfortunately. Was in and out of juvenile hall, in and out of youth detention facilities and stuff like that. So I just incorporated everything I've learned over the years, and I've just merged it into this one mega workout routine. It's like I have unlimited routines. It's like for everybody, for every genre of music, you know, we're gonna play. Sometimes you guys may not agree with the music I play. You may be like, hey man, I ain't feeling that, but hey, it's for everybody. I'm gonna let you guys choose. You guys are my family. You guys choose. We're all in this household together. You guys choose which music we play. The most votes win. That's how it goes, right? It's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy. Democracy, quote unquote. And by the way, we're not doing no political debates on this channel. None whatsoever. If you have any political content any kind of political rant you want to go on, you do that elsewhere. We're all about building right here. Destroying the old self, destroying the old body, getting rid of all those toxins, you know? Everything, getting rid of all those thoughts, that weakness, those hindrances, those obstacles, those things that hold us down. It's all about manifesting, transitioning to the person you were always meant to be. Because it was always meant to be you. You just don't recognize it yet. It's within you. It's always been within you. And it always will be within you. Once you realize that, you'll reach your greatest potential. Damn. I know some of y'all like, come on, bro, this enough, you know, these little push-ups and stuff, you know, okay, this for y'all, you know, y'all want to, okay, let's go. 1, 2, to pick it up a little bit. Pick it up a little bit. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna pick it up a little bit. Let's go. For all those who just started, to all my beginners, don't bother. Move at your own pace, please. Do not hurt yourself. I beg of you. Do not feel the need to show out or go to the extreme. We're here every day. Yeah, every day. Well, as long as I'm breathing. As long as Allah blesses me with life. It's good. All right, now we'll switch it up. We got the blood flowing, heart rate accelerated, in the beginning process of burning. You know, you're waking up your body like, okay, what we doing? Your body like, what we doing, man? It's ready, because your body gonna work with you. It's a machine, you in control. You're in control of the machine. Once you tell the body, okay, look, it's like you go out there and start a car. If something ain't wrong with the car, it's gonna start. The car ain't gonna be like, hey man, hey. You cheer the car, like, hey, I ain't even doing that today. I don't want to be a car today. Here, you, let me start you. You drive. You know, here, let me, you know, so the body's a machine. It works. It works in sync, everything, but it starts, you know, you're in control of it. But you realize that, tap into it. You got to tap back into the source, to the essence, to the roots, you know. Man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. Not just man in the sense of sexism or anything like that. Woman, man, mankind. Woman, know thyself. Man, know thyself. That's what it all starts at. All right. Get some good little stretches in, because people underestimate the importance of stretching. It is so important to stretch. So important. Walking around looking like Quasimodo. Knots everywhere. Trying to be a hard body and I don't need to stretch, that's for girls or that's for sissies. I used to think that too till I went to that yoga class. But all the muscles didn't mean nothing. Them girls was running circles around me and twisting and turning and bending. I couldn't do nothing. I was damn near passed out. Whew. Okay. That's enough stretching now. Here we go. Now we're gonna go up to 10 push-ups. I know this may be a little hard, you know, for some of you, but go ahead and push it or do as many as you can do. Pull as many as you can do. As best as you can do them. If you start going one way or the other, wishy-washy, you know, topsy-turvy, whatever they call it, then just give me 5 good ones. That's all that matters. Compound interest. Compound interest is key. Let's go. 10 push-ups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. What's good about 10 is like, it's not too little. But then again, it's like when you know you're going back down, that repetitions, you know, that consistency, 10 is like, ooh, I done did sets of 10s before for, you know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before. And I used to be, you know, I sustained myself like that for years. For months, I'd say, not years, because you know I would always switch it up and do, I'd have a dynamic exercise routine always. I love spontaneity when it comes to working out. I love spontaneity when it comes to working out because it's like you get to trick yourself. You try to trick yourself. Your brain already knows, like, I tricked you. No, motherfucker, I knew you was gonna do that already. I'm your brain, goddamn it. You know, so it's like it just keeps it fresh, original. It keeps it creative, innovative, interesting, and that's the whole key to podcasts and blogs and all this, and all these different social media outlets and platforms is you got to find your niche in order to bond with your audience, in order to keep them captivated. Like you want them to tune in. You keep them hungry for more. You don't want to give them too much at once. You want to balance it out. You know that medium, like I said, that medium. You gotta find your balance. You gotta find your balance. We're just getting started though. Well, we ain't just getting started, but we started. Now the motor like, okay, you know. It was idling there like 5,000 RPMs. Now you're like 1,000. You know, you're like, okay, man, let's go. I'm ready to, you know. Okay, what we doing? You done got me started. Okay, we go. I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to be a car today, but since you already got me outside, God damn it, let's go. Let's go on the drive. Where you want me to go? Where you want? Where you want to take you? Yeah, okay, let's go. Let me get a quick 20 real quick. This is the intermission. This for all my mega heads, you know. My super pushes. The elite squad. Right, now this for the beginners. Here go that 10. Here go that 10. 1, 2, 4. But back to my story. Went down at 19. Was facing life. Was looking at never coming home again. Took it upon myself to learn the law, learn the legal aspects of the judicial system. Catch how I said judicial, because there's nothing just about the judicial system. I'll say from all my experiences, and I'm not here trying to have a pity party or asking for sympathy, but not just my personal, but all my experiences. Extended, you know, people I've seen, people I've strove with, witnessed, and got did dirty. It's like, so I took it upon myself. You know, I was looking at never coming home again. It's like, what you gonna do? You gonna sink or swim? Fight or flight? Sympathetic immune system, you know, fight or flight. What you gonna do? And it was like, I was to a point where I had fired a couple lawyers because I felt like they weren't doing what they needed to do, and I wasn't feeling it. So after going through like the third or fourth lawyer, I said, man, you know what? I'm sharp enough to go in here and represent myself. All it is pushing paperwork, filing motions. You know, that's all it is, and it's really just going and doing your shepherdizing and stuff, and knowing how to shepherdize your cases and look up case laws. Once you learn it and understand it, it's kind of hard to explain, you know. Nexus, Lexus, and all that shit, West Law. It's kind of hard to explain, but I delved into it in a little bit. The minute knowledge that I did have in that field, I used it and I exploited it. Contacted Dan Russo, the Royal Russo. Shout out to Dan Russo, man. Russo Law Firm. Russo and Morgan, I believe it is. Russo and Morgan. Got at him like, hey man, fighting this high-profile murder case. They're trying to throw the kid away. Evidence is weak, mediocre. Would you be willing to represent me on a court-appointed basis? Wasn't expecting nothing. Shot in the dark, you know. Everybody deserves a shot in the dark every now and then. 3. So I took a risk. I took a chance, you know. And I did it. Wasn't expecting nothing. 2 weeks later, got a letter. Morgan and Russo and Morgan. Sat down, you know, I didn't know how to take it. Okay, let me absorb this. I was thinking it was just a rejection or something like that, you know. Opened it up. To my surprise, Mr. Russo had said he was willing to accept my case on a pro bono basis, court-appointed basis, but didn't want to interfere with the counsel that I had currently appointed to. That was the golden egg I needed. That's all I needed. Went pro per. For those of you who don't know what that means, I represented myself. Waived my rights to counsel, represented myself. Actually, I went co-counsel. Went co-counsel. Was gonna go pro per. Then the judge still assigned me 2 lawyers. He gave me the supervisor of the firm, and then it was an undergrad, I believe. I was like, all right, I'm gonna rock with them until after the prelim, and whatever happens, happens, you know. And sure enough, it didn't even go to that stage. I believe they knew about the communication with Russo, and they knew about the knowledge, the vast knowledge I had retained with regards to the law, and they knew they wasn't just playing with another. You know, I was only 19, 20, 21, you know. So it's like, in that state, what 19, 20, 21-year-olds do you know that are sitting there researching law and fighting for their freedom, fighting for their lives, and really putting it all on the line? Because when you go in there trying to represent yourself, you're putting it all on the line. That's what you're doing. Even co-counsel, you're putting it on the line. You still got to call stuff. You got to call, hey, audible. You got to, objection. You got to speak up. Because if you don't, there ain't no grounds for repeal. And so that's what I tell my brothers. Yeah, speak up for your rights, man. You have rights for a reason. You got rights for a reason. But yeah, so, took a deal. Sentenced to 9 years, ended up maxing out. Do the extracurricular activities within the institution, within the whole industrial complex of what we know as CDCR. Did that time, bounced back, came home, thought I was ready for the streets, dove in head first, wasn't mentally, spiritually as strong as I thought I was, allow myself to slip right back into the lifestyle. Not really, I won't say it was just, you are who you hang around, so you're guilty by association, so I won't say I slipped into the lifestyle, I just went with what I knew best. I'll say that, and I love who I love. It's hard, you can't help who you love. That's what people don't understand. I'm reminded of when Jesus was sitting at the table and the people were asking, I believe it was the Pharisees or the Sadducees were asking him, how could you sit next to thieves and robbers and the sick and, just all these, people who are basically pariah to society, It's like, how can you sit next to them? When you're supposed to be pure, you're supposed to be a prophet. You're supposed to be a messenger. It's like, when the sick need a doctor, right? Don't the sick go to a doctor to get healed? That's how it is. And it's like, I love who I love. I love hard. And I go hard for who I love. And I allowed it to overwhelm me, to overshadow my my rationality, my way of thinking. And when you start losing, I start losing youngsters, start losing my young brothers. When you start losing young brothers, it hurts. It's a hurt that's like a failure. Like a damn, what could I have done different? You bury your youngsters, bro. It's like burying your kids. Like, it ain't supposed to go that way. It's not supposed to go that way, bro. It's against nature. But it happens, there's exceptions to the rule. But I say all that to say, it did something to me inside. My little brother, Shaquise Jones. Rest in peace. May Allah be pleased. Losing my little brother, Bubba, Noel Penna. May Allah be pleased with. Losing my little brother, Chris, Christopher, Michael Trell Will. May Allah be pleased with. Losing my youngest, burying my young life, It hurts. It's deep. But then, it was a tough transition for me because right after Briss died, I had my first seed, A month after he died, I had my first seed. I was gonna name him after me. He was gonna be my junior. But I was like, you know what? I can't do that. I love Briss. If you know, you know. Those who know me know I love Briss. I go to the ends of the earth. I went to the ends of the earth. Nobody else is willing to take them drives. Pick up them calls, accept them calls. Drop that bag, invest, believe, have faith. Drop a kite. Show up to court dates when nobody else will do that. Go the extra mile for my brother. I did that because I love him. The money don't mean nothing. It's just material. It's the lived experience, bro, those memories I hold dear. It's like, I want people to know the real side of him. Not just this street shit. Yeah, he was a street motherfucker for sure. He was wild. He did that. He mastered every aspect of the street game. Got it. Was in his bag at a young age. Was a go-getter at a young age. Played with that fire at a young age. Did all that before he was rapping. So it's like, mastered all the aspects of the game at a young age. But that's what happens. master it young, you know, your battery run out young. Your battery run out fast. You live fast, die fast. They tell you that, you know? You know that. There's exceptions to the rule, though. There's exceptions to the rule. Mind you, I live fast. This year will be a milestone for me. I'm turning 42 this year. Yeah, she heard me right. I'll be 42 this year. 35 never looked better. I mean, 42. Yeah, 42. I'll be 42. And I'm in the stage of my life where it's like, dang, I didn't plan for this when I was a youngster. All I knew was the streets. You know, I never thought I'd live to be 40. Went to prison at 19. Saved me from a casket, I can tell you that for sure. I know it did. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I had a chance to sit down, see? I wasn't crashing it the whole time. I wasn't just crashing and crashing. I had a chance to sit back and just think, plot, plan, you know? I am not a reactionary, you know? My military responses are very strategic. They're very calculated, very thought out. I'm not a crash out. I'm not oh, there goes the ops, start firing. We're in broad day, wherever we're at. Shoot out, Billy the Kid. Yeah, they got people sitting down doing life sentences for that. Me, I'm a king. I know my place, I know my status, and I know my importance. And I believe that's where the laws, that's where the lines draw between me and my little brother, my baby brother, Chris. He didn't know his importance. Didn't know his status. He didn't know his status. Didn't have a solid team, solid structure. There was no team. If there was a team, there wouldn't have just been us there that night. Especially not the political climate that was going on, all the murders and the violence that was taking place at midnight in the middle of a gang war. 2 cars deep. Where's the 3rd car? But, you know, I don't put the blame off on nobody. I accept full responsibility for even having my brother in that position at midnight out. Should have been tucked off, shouldn't have even been, you know. But that's neither here nor there. Can't bring back the past. So it's like, we're gonna live in the present and plan for the future, baby, you know. Shout out to Bristol's kids though, man, because that's the part that gets overlooked the most, man. The babies are the ones who lost the most. Not his mama. Yeah, she gave birth to him. He fathered those babies. And now they were growing up without a father, not knowing what a father's love is like. You know, that's the part that that's hard on me, you know, I deal with. That's why I work out so hard. That's why I smoke so heavy. That's why I think so heavy, write so much. Should be praying harder, praying more. That's a story for another episode. So after that, after untimely demise of my brother, I decided to back up. Well, I decided to back up from music before that. So if you'll go back and backtrack, circa 2018, 2018, I was still doing a little stuff, doing shows here, opened up for Jeezy, T Grizzly in there, Peasy and them out, Ace of Spades, a few other little things, had it lit, popping, brought Briss out. We had technical difficulties with some of the songs. The DJ was saying he could only accept them in WAV file, and all we had was the MP3 formats and the email. Those you guys who know what I'm talking about, you guys understand. It's like there was nothing I could do, and all the songs that me and Briss had were on WAV files, or were on MP3 format. Sorry, excuse me. And long story short, couldn't play no songs that me and Briss had performed. So Briss is on stage. If you can go back and watch some of those, from Live City ENT, watch some of the footage, you'll see Briss just rocking out. He don't know none of the words to the song, but he just, that's that real nigga. Love him, to go. He just there supporting, like trying to, I can only imagine what's going on in his heart and his mind. Like, damn, he probably sweating, so embarrassed already, dealing with stage fright. This is his first little show. He ain't really rock nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Man, you just started rapping when we dropped Trap God. That's his first time recording. The Trap God, 2016. You feel me? Come on. Trap God. Yeah, that's his first song, And Allah blessed me with the opportunity, to be the person that he last did music with on this earth. The night he passed away, we did a song, not even an hour before he passed away. Me, him, and The brother that came with him to the store that night. Yeah. Historical something. not classical, yeah, historical. Historical. You know? I just listened to it in my own time and I just like, damn, I just think, you know? Because I knew what it was. As soon as I heard the beat, Britt's like, y'all want to get on the song? We in the studio finna leave. Fuck it, let's go. He played the beat, I started singing freestyle. You know, they don't want to see you shining. He was like, bitch, I don't know what you just said, but go in there and drop that. It's a radio hit. I swear for, hey, if I'm lying, strike me there right now. Allow my witness. And so, we recorded the song. I didn't get to finish my verse. I think I dropped like 8 bars or 12 bars. And then we had to leave, so I told the engineer, man, I'll just finish it next time. And then, never, unfortunately, you know, it's fate to have it. We never had that opportunity, so, you know, it's like, I never put anything out with him. It's just like, it's sentimental. And when I do, you know, I want his kids to benefit. I don't want nobody else. Anything I do is going straight to a trust. With any music I got with him, straight to a trust, straight for his kids. I don't want nothing from it. I don't want nothing from it. I have no pleasure in benefiting off my brother, you know, in any form or fashion, bro. That's my, you know, I want his kids. Like, they're the ones who deserve that, you know. They're entitled to that. His estate. Not these other niggas, not these snakes. Not these fakes. These farmers, you know. Blood, like what he say, tapped in with vampires. Call my cousins vampires. I got blood suckers. It's crazy how that works. I don't even remember what set we on, y'all, because it's like, you know, we just getting to know each other, we vibing out, you know. Bear with me. I'm not camera shy, but I just got pregame jitters. It's been a while. You know, shout out Toastmasters for helping me, for giving me the boost, you know, the startup kit. You know, shout out PFA, my people at PFA, you know, for sure. You know, it's all love. Shout out my people at Hydro City, you know. It's all love. Go up there if you need any hydroponics or anything like that. And if you ever hungry and you're in the downtown area and you love sushi, go and mess with Jahuchi. I'm playing with you. Juhachi. Go get you some Juhachi, man. Tell them I sent you. Tell them Joe sent you for sure. They're gonna bless you. Tell them you need that secret. Tell them you need that secret, that hidden menu too. You need the mushroom fries. Tell them you need the mushroom fries. Sure, man. Shout out all my people. You know I love my people, man. I'm gonna promote, support, and do whatever I can do to see all my people, all my entrepreneurs, all the people I know who got businesses, you know. That's how you do it, the circle, the camaraderie. That's why Asian communities, Mexicans, you know, Hispanic communities are so tight-knitted and interwoven. You know, it's because they're not afraid to come together. Everybody else don't want to part with their money. You're gonna die with that shit. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it. Come on, let's sit down, you know, like the Fukinese and feast out, you know? Let's put our money together like the Fukinese, man. Where we go, we'll take over this junk. I'm playing with you. All right, let's go ahead and switch it up now. Something different. We got the, you know, we feeling right up here. But you notice we didn't stop running the whole time. Kept the legs engaged. Kept the core engaged. Also kept the arms engaged because I'm sitting here doing miscellaneous things, you know, when I'm talking to y'all. And, but let's go ahead and target these legs a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and bust it out. Start off with some Super Saiyan Squats. Demonstration. All the way down, all the way up. But when you come up, you're trying to like jolt up, like bam, like you popping, you know, bam. Man, that didn't even look right, man. What the fuck? It's all good. We're going to keep that. You ready? All right, you ready? Get your mind at the gutter, man. All right, ready? Set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. That's it. You just want to get it, you know? You just want to get it started. Get it started. For some people, that's a lot. Some people don't, you know, a lot of people skip leg day. A lot of people got that jailbird physique going on, you know? Niggas be loaded with the blues. Oh, that nigga nutcase. Hey, shout out my nigga Tongan Tupac, man. Tongan Tupac. Go check him out on all social media outlets. Funniest guy I ever came across ever. Love him to death, man. It's my brother from another. Love you, Toko. You already know I'm going to support you. I'm going to shout you out. Everything I do. Shout out to the whole Long Beach, you know, LA. Love y'all, man. Southern California, Dago, Oceanside, man. Come on now, stand up. We ain't here. I know y'all been waiting a long time for me. Y'all been waiting for the real to speak. They like, we tired of this fake shit. We here in Sacramento, like, you ain't heard of Israel? Like, nah, we ain't never heard of him. Like, man, why this nigga ain't dropping nothing, man? It's that time, y'all. Hey, they wanted a reaction and got a response. This is not the response they wanted. I'm telling you that. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now back to the situation with my little brother, the late great Christopher Michael Treadwell. May Allah be blessed with him. May Allah please with him. May Allah have mercy on his soul and forgive him for his deeds. For he did not know what he did. I love that man, bro. That's my brother. That's my brother. No, that's not him. My boy, Lil Ant. Another little bro. Young little brother, you know. It's hard burying him, you know. On top of that, you know, this is somebody I really motivated and stopped motivated and received motivation from, you know, especially on the music tip. I came home to the youngster already. You know, yeah, did shit with Mozzie, was doing shit with the hardest. We gonna be real. Lil Ant was the hardest Mexican to come out of Sacramento, California, if you ask me, hands down. And I'm not biased just because he my young life. I'm not lying. Long live Anthony Ramirez. The great, may Allah be pleased with him. May Allah forgive him. You feel me? He know. And it hurt me, you know. I wasn't invited to his funeral because niggas know how much love I have for bro. Niggas know I put it all online for him and break bread whenever bread was needed to be broken. You know, so, but you know, I still showed up, you know? I still showed up just to check temperatures. You know, I wasn't on nothing aggressive. I'm not, anytime you see me out and about like that, if I'm looking mean or I'm looking like, hey, bro, I got so much bottled in, you don't even know. It'll break the average man, trust me though. So if you see me and I'm looking kind of like, maybe I just need a couple feet. I just need to be, you know, left alone. But I'm really a humble, very approachable guy, very likable. You know, very learned, sophisticated. I like learning about different cultures, you know, histories and things like that. So, and I do that just so I could be a better people person, so I can speak and understand people when I'm conversing with them. Ain't nothing better than being to travel thousands of miles and be able to still know the language of the land and talk to people, bro. And not even the language of the land, just the landscape, to know something of it, to have some sense of familiarity with where you are traveling to. You know, instead of going out there with nothing, you're just out there lost, looking like a fish out of water. You know? And the key to why you see me always moving, because the more body movement you do, the more you're engaging your entire body. And the more your lungs are working, your muscles, everything is working. Everything is working. You see? All the organs, muscles, everything are working in consort. They're working together. And the more you do this, the more stamina you're building, you know? The more endurance you're building. Because it's not easy to keep moving when you're tired. It's not. Your legs turn jelly, your arms turn jelly. You want to give up. But when you do this, it's like, man, I control my body. Even though we're taking a break, this is an intermission right here, y'all. Y'all don't have to do this. I'm doing this just to encourage y'all, motivate y'all, inspire y'all, you know? I'm a seed planter. Before anything, I'm a seed planter. Now, Johnny Appleseed, goddammit. But yeah, so, and you know, a lot of people don't know that I'm still currently fighting criminal matter behind the situation with my little brother passing away, you know? Allegations were put out there that I was his bodyguard, quote unquote bodyguard, that I had firearms with me that night and I was sworn to protect him, and people were heard on phone calls saying that I should have followed the guy and I should have shot him and gave descriptions of the suspect and all this, you know. And, you know, I'm not a social media guy, so I'm not going to go on there and try to refute anybody's claim because, hey, we're going to let the truth always going to outshine the truth is always going to outshine a lie, bro. Always. In the end, that's why I just be quiet, humble. Yeah, it was hard for me to stay humble. You know, it's hard for me to stay quiet. They speaking on me. They insulting, you know, they assaulted my character. And then adding insult to injury, saying I had something to do with my little brother. Somebody who I would have went to the ends of the earth with. Somebody who I didn't did. You gotta be kidding me. Like, it's insanity. You know? But hey, everybody got a story to tell. Just because it's a story don't mean it's real, though. Don't mean it's true. So, you know, take everything you hear with a grain of salt. You know, though. You know, so I'm still fighting. You know, it's been over 5 years, almost 6 years. You know, because, like I said, a day after my son was born, I was pulled over. Think about it. I was pulled over 5 minutes after leaving the very same spot, house that me and Briss and the other rappers and people who were with us were waiting to shoot the video at. I left the dude's house, shook him up, did whatever. 5 minutes later, black car got beside me, blurted me, pulled me over. The rest is history. Found firearms, whatever they found, you know. Was taken to jail. Had no bail for a long time. Had to get a bail hearing. Got my bail reduced to $500,000 after 6 months. Hired Michael Wise. Got up out of there. Let's go. It's time to begin. Didn't even know what was going on at the time. Didn't even know why I was in there. Why people didn't even know these dudes was, you know, speaking reckless on these lines. But then again, it's not reckless. You know, sometimes, you know, you gotta read between the lines. Sometimes people might do something to make it seem like it's reckless, like it was a oops, my bad, when it was really a yeah, I like that. You know, they call it dry snitching. Well, how my feet get wet. You know. He said he ain't bite the bird, then how his beak get wet. You know, but we ain't gonna, you know, that's neither here nor there. But so yeah, $500,000 bail, insult to injury. I'm on the victim side. You know, my brother done been chased down. My brother done been killed. You know, he done been. I'm not playing the victim because I know he done did shit in the street. Wasn't no angel, for surely he was on the, you know, on the a little bit more on the demonic side. But you know, that's my brother, and I'm going to do whatever I can to protect the integrity of his reputation. You know, and he was a good man. He was just misguided. And I pray Allah forgive me for any part I played in the misguidance of that man, of that young great man, because he had such great potential, and he was so bigger than this city. The kid just loved his neighborhood so much. He just loved his people so he loved hard like me. You know? Why do you think I love him so much? When I looked at him, I saw me. When I looked in his eyes, I saw me. It wasn't no looking down. Nigga, I'm looking straight. Little nigga, I'm looking at you. I'm not looking down on you. I'm not looking up at you. I'm looking to you, through you, with you, standing with you. You know? Me and Briston been in many situations where we could have never made it back, you know? Many situations, you know? Situations I won't talk about, and some I will in further episodes, but it's like, just, you know, laying the footwork so y'all get to know who I am and know a little bit about my struggle. You know? Let's go ahead and familiarize ourselves a little bit, you know? Get comfortable. Sip some tea. Well, don't sip no tea. It's hot outside. You mess around and pass out. Talking about you just follow my instructions. And by the way, I am not a personal trainer. I'm not certified. So do not quote me on anything I say. Because at the end of the day, shit, I'm liable to fall out just as quick as you. Oh, man. But yeah, so got out. Didn't have my discovery. To those of you who don't know legal terminology, discovery is the paperwork that the district attorney is supposed to provide you with before your preliminary hearing. Should be upon even in the beginning processes of your legal situation, but a lot of times they don't do it and they force you to fight for it, even though it's your right. You have a right to discovery. They're like, we're gonna wait till you fight for it, you know. And I'm currently going through that right now. Still, there's still paperwork they don't want to give me. Although there are no confidentiality clauses anymore. Cases have been adjudicated and everything. Still don't want to give up paperwork. I wonder why. Maybe because there ain't nothing there. Maybe because there is. Maybe because there's a big ass bird dropping seeds. Who knows what's going on really? But at the end of the day, what I do know is I'm not going out without a fight, y'all. I'm not going out without a fight. No. It took a lot of money from me. I got a lot of money back. It took a lot of jewelry from me. I got a lot of jewelry back. Asset forfeiture, tried to seize my assets, got all my shit back both times, litigated by myself, you know. Tried to get some lawyers to help me. Nobody wanted to help me. Everybody wanted to charge me 30%, you know, contingency fees and all that. Filed the paperwork myself, went hard, got my shit back. They took like 10,000 and probably like 20, 30,000 in jewelry the first time. Next time they came, they took about 50,000 and probably 60, 70,000 in jewelry. Got it all back. Let them keep 10 just as a, you know what I'm saying? Just, you feel me? We're gonna move on. 15 push-ups, y'all. You know? We're gonna end it off hard for the first one. Hope y'all keeping up, man. Hope y'all keeping up. I don't know, that might have been 16, but you know, my brother Ball stayed on 16, so you know. You know? You don't get that over your head, you know what I'm saying? So, I did ZZ for him, Ball. Shout out one time, though, man. That's an inside joke. You don't know nothing about that. Love you, boy. Get well so you can be joining me on this podcast and be right here next to me, too, brother. I want to see you well, in shape. I want to see everybody physically fit, living their best lives, you know? Outside, getting it in. Shirts off, enjoying the weather. You know? Man, we can all reach it. A little bit of work, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort. It all adds up. It all adds up. Yeah, it all adds up. Everything don't all add up. At the end of the day, that's the testament. You know, these stories, these narratives, you know, people put out there, they try to control. And at the end of the day, you gotta really sit there and just think, like, make it make sense. Like, some shit be so far-fetched, just as like outlandish, like sacrificial lambs, King Von type. Like, get out of that rabbit hole, brother. The algorithm's got a hold of your mind. You gotta back away from that shit. That's why I cut off the social media. That's why I ain't respond to nobody, these bloggers, everybody. If I showed you my DMs and stuff, that's why I deactivated. People trying to get me on interviews, get my side of the stories, and offering me money, offering me bags to go do. Bruh, I am a man of integrity. I am a man of honor. I am a man of respect. And I'll never compromise. Kill me where I stand. You know? Forever grateful for Allah because he told me, sit. Don't let these rappers and these bloggers eat at your expense. I'm not gonna let y'all get paid off of my misery. Get me on y'all platforms so y'all can exploit the death of my little brother in order to get more viewers and followings, more clout, more money, more fortune, fame. Fuck that. We're gonna tell our own stories. You know? We don't need y'all. We don't need y'all. I don't need y'all. Let these other dudes get on there and blah, blah, blah. How's that going for you? You know, Rick Baby? You know, how that going for you? You know, Loose? You know? Smarter than that, bruh. Come on. You feel me? I learned from the best of them. Ran circles around the rest of them. Said they gonna teach me a lesson, but how come they never tested them? No, let me stop getting me off free, man. I don't even know where I'm at. Y'all, where I'm at? Let me just say that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 44 minutes. I said 45 minutes for the first segment, right? For every segment, actually. It's a good way to end it. I chose this site. I just happened upon this site, actually. I didn't decide this. I didn't plan this. You know? I just sit back and think, like, Sacramento truly is a beautiful city. We just gotta dig through all the madness, all the grum, all the grind in order to find what it is that we all looking for, you know? In order to reach our full potential. It all comes back full circle. It all comes back full circle. Thank you for your time, and thank you for taking this challenge with me. Enjoy your evening.